What happens when one of Hollywood's most candid actresses joins a live daytime talk show expecting a thoughtful discussion about her latest work, only for a conversation about celebrity responsibility and media scrutiny to gradually become one of the most talked about moments of the season? Make sure to subscribe to Talk Show Fallout and like and comment for more talk show coverage. The audience welcomes Dakota Johnson with enthusiastic applause as she walks onto the stage smiling and greeting the hosts. Joy Behar thanks her for joining the show and begins with a lighthearted conversation about Dakota's recent projects, her experiences balancing work and personal life, and the changing expectations placed on actors in today's entertainment industry. For the first several minutes, the discussion is relaxed. The panel jokes about the challenges of promoting films, awkward interviews, and the pressure celebrities face whenever a short clip goes viral online. Dakota laughs along and shares that she has learned not to react to every headline because social media rarely tells the complete story. Joy nods before adding that public figures also carry responsibility because millions of people listen to what they say. Another host agrees, saying audiences expect honesty and accountability from celebrities who influence culture. Dakota responds calmly. "I don't disagree with accountability," she says. "I just think people sometimes confuse accountability with expecting perfection. Those are two very different things." The audience applauds. Joy leans forward. "But isn't that part of becoming famous? If you choose a public career, don't you also choose public criticism?" Dakota smiles politely. "I think criticism comes with the job. I don't think assumptions should." The audience reacts with another round of applause while one host gently reminds everyone that conversations online often remove context. Joy continues. "Some viewers might say celebrities complain about attention while continuing to benefit from it." Dakota pauses before answering. "I understand why people feel that way. But being grateful for opportunities doesn't mean every headline is fair or every opinion is accurate." The audience grows quieter, sensing the conversation becoming more serious. Joy asks whether celebrities should use their platforms more carefully, especially when discussing political or social issues. Dakota answers that every public figure should think carefully before speaking, but also believes people should be allowed to make mistakes without every misstep defining them forever. One of the co-hosts agrees, saying social media often encourages instant judgment rather than thoughtful discussion. Joy respectfully pushes back. But audiences aren't responsible for protecting celebrities from criticism. Dakota nods. "I'm not asking anyone to protect celebrities. I'm asking people to remember that they're still talking about human beings." A noticeable murmur spreads through the audience. The discussion shifts toward the entertainment industry's relationship with the press. Dakota explains that interviews can sometimes be reduced to a few seconds online, leaving viewers with an impression that doesn't reflect the full conversation. Joy replies that journalists also work under pressure and often have limited time. Dakota acknowledges the point. "That's true. I just think everyone benefits when conversations have room for nuance instead of becoming a contest over who gets the loudest reaction." The audience applauds again. Another host remarks that respectful disagreement seems increasingly rare on television. Joy smiles. "Well, we're proving today that people can disagree without shouting." Dakota laughs. "I hope so." The audience laughs with her, easing the tension for a moment. Joy then asks one final question before the commercial break. "If you could change one thing about how celebrities and audiences interact today, what would it be?" Dakota thinks carefully. "I'd probably encourage everyone, including celebrities, to spend less time reacting immediately and more time listening first. Most disagreements become much bigger because people stop trying to understand each other." The audience responds with warm applause as the hosts thank Dakota for the thoughtful discussion and tease that the conversation will continue after the break. The conversation returns after the commercial break with the audience still noticeably engaged. Joy smiles and thanks everyone for staying with the discussion. "I have to say," Joy begins, "this has been one of those conversations where people are probably already forming opinions at home." Dakota nods with a smile. "I hope they're forming opinions after hearing the whole discussion." The audience applauds. Another host joins in. "I think that's the point we've been circling around. It's not about agreeing with every celebrity or every commentator. It's about actually listening." Dakota agrees. "I've learned that most disagreements become much smaller when people stop trying to win and start trying to understand each other." Joy responds thoughtfully. "I don't disagree with that. I just think public figures should expect difficult questions." And I do, Dakota answers. The questions aren't the problem. It's when people decide what your answer means before you've even finished saying it. The audience reacts with another round of applause. The discussion shifts toward how interviews are edited into short clips online. Joy says, "That's the reality now. A 30-second clip can travel much farther than a 30-minute conversation." Dakota smiles. "Exactly. That's why I always hope people watch the full interview before deciding what happened." One host laughs. "I think every guest wishes people would do that." The audience laughs along. The atmosphere begins to soften as both Dakota and Joy acknowledge that they actually agree on more points than they first realized. Joy says, "We may approach these issues differently, but I appreciate that you've answered every question directly." Dakota replies, "And I appreciate being asked instead of having someone answer for me." The audience applauds warmly. As the interview wraps up, Joy thanks Dakota for joining the panel and says conversations like this are valuable because respectful disagreement is becoming increasingly rare. Dakota stands, shakes hands with the hosts, and waves to the audience before leaving the stage. When the episode finishes airing, viewers immediately begin discussing the interview online. Some praise Dakota for remaining calm under pressure, while others agree with Joy's insistence that public figures should be prepared to answer challenging questions. Many viewers comment that the discussion stayed respectful despite moments of tension, with clips of the interview being shared alongside calls to watch the complete conversation before drawing conclusions. Entertainment commentators describe the exchange as an example of how live television can feature strong disagreement without turning into personal attacks. Viewers debate the different perspectives, but many appreciate that both sides listened, responded thoughtfully, and ended the conversation on respectful terms. The following day, both Dakota's supporters and Joy's supporters continue discussing the interview. Rather than focusing on who won, many conversations center on celebrity accountability, media expectations, and how audiences consume short clips online. Some viewers say Dakota made persuasive points about context, while others believe Joy asked important questions that public figures should be prepared to answer. The interview becomes a reminder that meaningful conversations do not always require complete agreement. Sometimes the most memorable television moments come from people expressing different viewpoints while treating each other with respect. As the credits roll, the narrator addresses the audience one final time. What did you think about this fictional what-if conversation? Whose perspective resonated with you the most? Share your opinion in the comments and subscribe to Talk Show Fallout for more real talk show stories.